Hey guys, welcome to a new video. It is tea time. I have some herbal tea here. It's the IKEA one actually that I talked about in a recent video, the peppermint and cocoa blend. And today I wanted to talk to you about my style evolution. I love watching these from other people. I think it's so much fun to look back at teenage years and see where you've come from, how you got to where you are currently. So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna go all the way back to 2006 and we're gonna take a look at all the phases that I've gone through and all the different styles of clothing that I've worn. So I think I should start by saying I am someone who goes through phases quite a lot, pretty regularly. I will be fully into something and then a few years later I might be fully into something else. And these phases have been both in kind of fashion and the way I would dress and the way I would look, but also just my interests in general. I've never really had one particular style. It's just the ones that I would switch between tend to change over time. Especially in high school, I absolutely loved dressing one way one day and then looking like a completely different person the next day. It's just something that I like doing, and I still actually do. I don't think I really have one set style. I'm pretty sure I never will. Let's take a look at the actual evolution. So I have compiled some photographs here from my earliest days up until today. We're gonna start in 2006. I think this is right around the time that I went to high school. High school in the Netherlands starts at age 12 and goes on to age 16, 17 or 18 depending on the type of education you follow. I was in high school ages 12 to 18. This photo right here, this is pretty much my look of the time, like my last years of elementary school and my first years of high school. My mom bought my clothes and kind of picked out my clothes for me. And my mom and I have very different styles when it comes to fashion. So I can imagine it was pretty hard for her to buy clothing for me that I loved. I'd be happy with pretty much anything as long as it was pink. That kind of resulted in me wearing pink from head to toe pretty much all the time. This is a very typical outfit for me. I'm wearing a pink shirt, pink shorts. I probably had pink socks underneath. I do believe that from pretty early on I had a tendency to dress pretty eccentrically. I've always been drawn to outfits that stand out. The normal thing to wear among Dutch high school girls, especially when I was that age, was jeans and a t-shirt. Trend sensitive. It was like all the teenagers wore the exact same thing and you had to have the thing from the very specific brand that everyone had, and otherwise you just, weren't cool enough. And I never had the thing from the brand, so I remember pretty quickly just giving up on that completely and going for whatever I wanted to wear. I absolutely love this. This is probably my earliest venture into vintage fashion, and you're gonna see this scarf a lot. I actually still wear and use that scarf quite a lot. This isn't something that I would wear out, but I just thought it was really funny. Something that I do have here is the scarf again with a dress, and this is definitely one that I picked out myself. This is when I started to go shopping with my mom and actually, show her the things that I like. So pretty shortly after I entered high school, I got really caught up in the fantasy world, the fantasy scene. I was a massive fan of Lord of the Rings, like huge fan. That started to really kind of seep into my fashion as well. I started wanting to wear skirts. Basically, for the major part of high school, I just wanted to dress like a princess or an elf, and that was the end goal. And I tried to get as close to that as somewhat acceptable in society. Not really, honestly, but I tried. I just wanted to emulate that kind of feeling with clothing that I already had. So here you can see I'm wearing a necklace that has like a fairy on it or something, and I'm wearing a skirt, but most of the time I would still dress just pretty casually. So this is, for example, one of my favorite outfits at the time. I remember this one. I had flared jeans and a really pretty top. My style was always very feminine. That is something that's like a running theme throughout everything. So in this photo right here, I'm wearing the same jeans, but this is one of those tops that I don't even really remember why I wore it. I probably just thought it was really cool. I love the sleeves of this. I remember this is a hand-me-down from my my grandma. And I wore quite a lot of those actually. My grandma has awesome style, so I still wear her clothes sometimes. Or it's something that my mom used to wear in the 70s or 80s. I'm not entirely sure. My classmates probably thought it was weird, but they thought everything I wore was weird, so I was pretty okay with that. This is pretty much what I would just wear on a normal school day. So I'm wearing something pink and then jeans. This was kind of like in the early days of high school. Look at that little piece of skin under my top there. Oh, this was the low-rise jeans time. So glad that's over. So moving into 2007, here is a photo of an outfit that I absolutely loved. And you can see it is very matchy and that I love that. I am pretty sure I'm wearing polka dot flats under this as well. If it was up to me, I would have worn skirts every day, but the weather just gets too cold over here. I even had some red lipstick on, and I actually remember getting this. I believe I was 14 at the time, and I went to the mall with my friends and we tried on this lipstick and they were like, oh, this looks so good on you, you should buy it. And I did, and I loved it. It wasn't even lipstick, it was like a red tinted lip gloss. This was my first fantasy fair, and this is something that determined a lot of my high school years, these fantasy fairs. I discovered the friend that I'm standing next to actually introduced me to them, and I went once and I was hooked. And for years and years and years, I would visit every single edition. They are held twice a year. Like this specific one is the Fantasy Fair. They're called Elfia now, but I would also go to like all the other ones. We have loads in the Netherlands. That was like my thing. And I would always dress up in costumes and everything. But this was the first one. You're gonna see a few more photos of events like that, but this was the first one. I borrowed the dress from my friend as well. And I think this is where my really eccentric style starts to creep in a little bit more, because from here on out I am moving into what I like to refer back to as my full crazy mode. This is like my big time of disillusionment. I felt very out of touch with my peers and just kind of let down by society in general as it slowly unfolded into something that I wasn't expecting it to be, and I kind of was met with the harsh realities of life and things like that, and I just decided that I didn't want to be part of that. I started dressing literally in whatever I wanted. And some of those outfits I would describe as inappropriate nowadays, but back then I just didn't care. I just wanted to wear whatever I wanted to wear. It was great. I had so much fun wearing those awesome outfits, and I am actually really happy I did it. 2008, and we are all the way in at this point. What you see here is my favorite outfit of the time. You can still see a few of my pink extensions, which I had at the time. I believe I got those in 2007 after a hairdresser told me they wouldn't dye my hair pink because I would regret it. I'm very glad they told me that. This outfit, this was it. Burgundy top with black lace overlay, and then I would wear these lace gloves with it. Would either wear this with jeans or a long black skirt. I literally wore this shirt until it fell apart at the seams, so this was kind of my go-to. I started to get into clothing that was super feminine, but in like a very romantic sense. So anything with lace or frills or that was just long and flowy, I loved. Especially lace. I all lace everything. Around this time, like in the same year, I also entered a phase. I became fascinated with Japanese pop culture, and I started listening to J-pop, watching anime, and I kind of got into that style a little bit. I didn't dress full, you know, Harajuku, but I had like handbags and little accessories that kind of pointed in that direction. So here you can see one of my outfits. I had like the cutesy pigtails. And here again, next photo, you can see I'm wearing just something very princessy almost. It's a long flowy dress with like lace, and I'm wearing pink and a rose in my hair, like my hair is braided. I was in heels whenever I could. So this was for a costume party, obviously, but you can see I was experimenting with dark makeup and things like that. It was so much fun. This is the Fantasy Fair in 2008. Really cute outfit, love this one. I still have that dress. You know what? I would actually wear this dress. I need to find it and start wearing it again. This is really cute. Also in 2009, I had a brief kind of like Lolita phase, I guess. So here you can see my Kuro Loli dress with a petticoat, and this is again at the Fantasy Fair. I didn't wear this to school. Maybe I did. Actually, I might have. Yeah, I probably have worn this to school. Anyway, this was at the Fantasy Fair. Here you go again. This is my kind of standard uniform. I'm wearing that same outfit again. You can already see the lace is fading on my shoulders. And here's another photo from a Fantasy Fair. Pretty gothy. I love those lace gloves. I wore those all the time. I am starting to wear kind of like mock fashion corsets and things like that. I really love those. And I would wear those in day-to-day life as well, but I would just combine them a bit more casually, not with a long black skirt underneath, but just with jeans or something. Oh yeah, so here we go again with the whole Lolita style. This was my 16th birthday party and I actually borrowed this dress from a friend. I didn't own this one. If this was my dress, I would have worn this every day. Oh, this is interesting. This is 2010, and this day, you can kind of see it on the bottom there. This day I decided to wear a actual traditional dirndl to school. I had bought one in Austria and it is absolutely beautiful. It is gorgeous. I wish I had a better photo of it, but it's beautiful. And I wanted to wear it because it's gorgeous. So I decided to wear it to school and that did not go down well. I remember that. I did that once and never again. Here is the Fancy Fair again, and you can see me getting more and more gothy as time goes by, so I loved this outfit. Again, I'm wearing a fashion corset and a long black skirt and dark makeup, and I love this outfit. This is really nice. But at this point in 2010, I do believe my day-to-day wear became a little bit less extreme. Like, I definitely wouldn't have worn this to school. This was just for costume events. Oh, here is what I wore to a prom, a school prom that year. So you can definitely see the like gothic influences, like dark makeup, and of course, obviously I'm wearing lace. Oh, I actually really like this look. Good times, good times. I was really into like folk music and like pagan folk at the time. I actually made this, like I made parts of this. Oh yeah, that's 2010 is around the time when I started sewing clothing and kind of making my own custom pieces, and this is one of them. This is like one of my earlier ones. I did lots of these little like photo shoots with my friends, so this was, you know, from one of them. I love this outfit. Casual style was a little bit more like this. Ignore the face mask. I was doing face mask with a friend, but top with some kind of lace and frills and then a skirt underneath. That was pretty much my go-to style. When 2011 came around, that was my last year of high school and I was 17, 18 at the time. And that is when I stopped wanting to stand out as much. I still loved all of my fantasy clothing and things like that, but I got tired of attracting so much attention all the time and feeling like I have to defend myself all the time when I really just wanted to go about my day. People didn't agree with the way I dressed, even though it wasn't that extreme at all. Again, I live in a town where everyone looked exactly the same. And at a certain point, I just got tired of that and I kind of gave up on that. And I started to dress more like conforming to society standards. So basically my go-to in this time period was jeans and band t-shirts, dark makeup still. This is from the Fantasy Fair back then. I also started to dress a little bit less dark, I guess. Oh, this is from my own prom. This is my graduation prom, and I curled my hair with a sock using the sock bun method. I remember that so vividly. So I wonder if I still fit in that dress. I do actually still have it, but it's at my parents' house. Yeah, I loved my look that day. This is also the day that Robert and I got together. Yeah, here you can see another one of the tops that I made myself. I remember this one so well. It had like a very long pointed hood in the back. It was very in line with the whole kind of folky, fantasy-ish fashion. Towards kind of late 2011, I started dressing pretty much normally again, actually. And this is where my style starts to get a lot more basic. I guess more grown up and sophisticated in a way. I still enjoy dressing a little bit more eccentrically than is the norm. And I actually still do. I don't think that's ever gonna go away. But it wasn't as extreme and as out there. And that it didn't attract as much attention. And I also started wearing a little bit more color. So this is something that I wore on a date actually with Robert. Yeah, I really like this outfit. That skirt is handmade. I made that. I remember it's actually a piece of fabric that was made to be curtain. I still have a lot of these clothes, like 2012 onward, I still have pretty much all of this. I feel like around 2012, I start really developing a style that stuck pretty much, and I still like to wear this bag. I still have these shoes. I wore those like a few days ago. I still have that top, those jeans I no longer fit in. Oh, I love this dress. This is one of my favorite dresses. It still is. This was my first secondhand purchase and I absolutely love this. Okay, so skipping forward to 2014, I don't have many photos from when I was in university, but it doesn't really matter that much because my university days were a time when I didn't really care that much about how I looked, and fashion was a lot less important to me than it was in high school. I came into an environment, I studied Celtic studies. None of my classmates really cared about fashion, so it just wasn't something that was important at all. I still dressed in a way that I thought was nice, but it was a lot more casual and a lot more basic again than the way I used to dress in high school. This is a pretty standard look for me. It's just some black jeans and a blouse. This is from a outfit video, pretty basic. Jeans. So 2015, around that time, I also start wearing things that are a little bit more tailored maybe and structured, and I start paying a lot more attention to the cuts of clothing rather than just the kind of print and material and things like that. So I become more conscious of what is flattering to my body shape and things like that. I still have and wear this dress as well. Oh yeah, here you can see I'm wearing this pink blouse, which I'm sure you've seen me wear. I still wear pretty much all of these clothes. But again, it's a much more basic piece, a lot more sophisticated, and just something that is more timeless and grown up. But yeah, still a preference for dresses. So again, nice and simple. Heels, I loved heels, and hats. Oh my gosh, guys, you know how much I love my hats. This pretty much sums up my style in university. Just very kind of normal. We're 2016 now. This is around the time that I started doing my historical hair videos. So I had hair history and makeup history and then beauty beacons. And that kind of pulls me into the whole historical costuming and hairstyling world, and I start getting more interested in things like that. I think this is one of my first like vintage inspired outfits, and I also believe that by this time I had bought my first vintage reproduction, or more like kind of rockabilly style dress. I have one of those dresses with the red cherries, like the standard one that everyone buys when they just get into vintage fashion, I think. Honestly, most of the time my style was just black jeans and a sweater or a top or something. I love this outfit. You know what, guys? It's kind of weird to talk about this because it feels like this was just yesterday. It doesn't feel like it was that long ago at all. And I mean, it wasn't. It's 2016, but still, it's 2019 now, which is just insane. I could put this on right now, head to toe, because I still have all these pieces. And I would still wear this nowadays as well. This is pretty much my go-to, like more neutral colors by this time. More kind of structured, basic, timeless casual pieces. So 2017 is where I kind of started carefully dabbling into vintage fashion a little bit more. This is the first skirt that I bought. I had just bought it actually at this point. That is kind of like a midi length, and it looks pretty vintagey. And I also have that bee cardigan that I still love. So I paired those two together and I absolutely love this. I was pretty nervous about wearing this. I get more and more into neutral colors as time goes by. Oh, here is the cherry dress. There we go. But I did already have it for a few years at this point, I know that. A jumpsuit, again, an example of a more tailored piece that's just very flattering on my body shape. Nothing frilly. I never wear lace anymore and things like that. So here we are already in 2018, and at this point I am really starting to lean towards more vintage style, vintage cuts, and vintage silhouette more and more. I feel like that's the direction that I'm headed in now. So if I just skip forward, of course, like I mentioned, I never just wear one style. So this is pretty much what I would wear on a day-to-day basis. Neutral colors, pretty simple pieces combined together. But I am leaning more and more towards vintage style fashion and also wearing my hair that way. And yeah, I feel like that is kind of where I'm headed right now. I am feeling that excitement that I used to at every kind of switch of style. And I can just tell that I will be incorporating more vintage style pieces in my wardrobe, and I really enjoy that style, even though I am pretty sure I won't go full vintage. I feel like a wardrobe of vintage looking items combined with more modern pieces is something that I really gravitate towards and that I find myself wearing more and more often. That's where we are today. Looking back at it like this makes me realize that my style has actually changed a lot over the years, and especially in the past couple of years. But this was really, really fun to look back on my style and how it has evolved over the years. So I really hope you enjoyed this video as well, guys. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for loads more beauty and lifestyle content. If you'd like to support me through Patreon or my merch store, there will be links in the description box below. Thank you so much for your support. There is another video here that I think you might also enjoy. You can go watch next. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye!